main deck that is, I'd say it's actually pretty similar to Jim Davis because there's 4 Goblin Pile Drivers here and 2 Siege Gang Commanders. So yeah, this is very, very close, if not a carbon copy of what Jim Davis has been working with. 3 Mindbreak traps in the sideboard as well. I think Jim had all 3 of those in his sideboard when we were in Philadelphia, where you were there with me watching him beat Brian Cook and then losing to
Beat
Reed
is
Duke.
Small word.
He squeaked by. He squeaked by.
It was gross.
Yeah.
It was one of the most messed up things I've ever seen anyone do to anyone in a game of Magic.
If you say so. A turn 1 Ponder here from Patrick. He's going to shuffle really quick. That must have been a bad Ponder.
I saw
Wow.
a land, a Wasteland, and I didn't see the 3rd card, but that probably means he already has his 2nd land he's not interested in anymore. He may even already have a Wasteland, or maybe it was just 3 lands total and he just stone not interested in that. This
matchup is often really, really close. It's pretty back and forth. Flip Delver can prove to be problematic if you don't have the necessary removal to take care of that. Tarmogoyf is pretty big. Nimble Mongoose being untargetable, so the creatures that Rug Delver presents are pretty annoying. And the Goblin deck is most of the time going to be the control deck in this matchup. So picking and choosing the right time to Wasteland, all those things is actually a pretty difficult thing to do. Getting a Vial established is a good start. Wow, no Days, no Force. That's fantastic for Joey.
Yeah, choosing to expose the Wasteland over the Cavern of Souls I'm not sure I like here. As I think attacking the Rug Delver deck's mana base after you play an Aether Vial seems really strong. Like I'd much rather go Cavern, Aether Vial, then if he Wastelands my Cavern, I just play my Wasteland, waste him right back. He's on no lands against an Aether Vial, sounds awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Here we see Patrick takes advantage of that Wasteland opportunity. He's going to go ahead and waste Joey's Wasteland, likely out of fear that he will get wasted himself with the Vial already in play.
Well, Joey has another Wasteland, and he's going to do that right away. I would prefer to do that on the upkeep so that I don't get stifled. Here's a Thought Scour, so it's actually going to turn over a Stifle and a Mongoose and drawing a card, but he could have really gotten punished there for doing that. Turns out okay for him. Does Patrick have another land is the question.
Yep, so we've had a couple sequencing issues here, and Patrick, as we could have probably guessed based on him shuffling that Ponder on turn 1, does have another land. It's pretty unlikely he'd shuffle away a 2nd colored source without having access to one, and a fetch land does indeed go grab him Tropical Island. I imagine we can expect to see a creature now.
Yeah, I mean, searching out green mana on purpose as opposed to blue-red mana, so this kind of says that I have Nimble Mongoose. I mean, we do know he has a Ponder in his hand, so maybe he wants to manipulate a little bit more. We'll see what avenue he wants to take. All right, it's going to be a Ponder. And if you're Joey, this is great because he's taking his time to get set up here, but you have a Vial in play that's going to be ticking up, 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 and then you actually are able to get set up. Vial is one of the more important cards in this matchup because it's very unlikely that Lackey's ever going to hit the opponent. Nimble Mongoose blanks it, Bolt blanks it, you can stifle the trigger, and then you can play a Tarmogoyf. It's very rare for it to get through.
You seem rather knowledgeable about the Goblins matchup against Rug. Do you have a background with either of these decks?
I've played this matchup a timer 100.
Yeah. Patrick shuffles his Ponder. It had a Force of Will and another land within it. So Force of Will, obviously a basic stone blank, and without access to another fetch, it's not a card he would pretty much ever want to draw.
Arid Mesa the draw for Joey this turn. Arid Mesa, to go along with Cavern of Souls, he has a Port in his hand and another land. The first thing I want to do is I want to crack Arid Mesa now to make sure that I don't get stifled. But I mean, Wasteland, I think he has another one in his hand, is certainly an enviable option. But if I'm going to play Arid Mesa, I got to crack it now.
Yeah, if he does in fact have a 3rd Wasteland, that's a pretty exciting card to have as well.
Yeah. So he's going to crack right away. He's going to go down to 18, I believe, maybe 19. We'll get our life totals updated here. He's going to search out Basic Mountain, which I feel like he should search out so that he doesn't open himself up to getting Wastelanded, because he's going to want to get mana eventually here.
Yeah, you need a couple, especially to turn on that Rashadan port. Obviously, it is itself vulnerable to Wasteland, but these are the kind of profitable exchanges you want to force your opponent to make. You deny them some tempo, let your Vial tick you into the win.
So, gonna present his deck over, see if he has any other plays this turn, or if he's just trying to dodge a Stifle. Both are fine in my book. I mean, if he does have another Vial to play, that's great, but dodging Stifle is super, super important. You want to shut that off as best as you can.
Sure. I imagine he's got a little something. I got a feeling.
You got a read? Nope.
Nope.
Good read.
Rats.
Good read.
Rats. Patrick, it looks like he draws a Force of Will, and that's probably not what he wants to see. He does have another fetch land, so yeah, lands aplenty for Patrick. He's been shuffling those away with his Ponder for good reasons.
Cavern of Souls to draw here for Joey this turn. But Vial is up at the important number right now, which is 3. And I like the no Wasteland here. Even in the face of Stifle, it's very clear that Patrick has plenty of lands. They don't need more than 3 lands to really work with, so there's no real reason to Wasteland, as here comes an activation of the Vial, a Goblin Matron.
What do you grab with Goblin Matron here, Cedric?
I'm going Ringleading.
Really?
Yeah.
So with a Vial ticking to 4, you think Ringleader's the call?
Yeah, I'm ringleading. believe
Seems
it or
like a
not.
strong choice.
Yeah. Even though it is going to kind of cold my vial for the rest of the game for the most part, this list does have 2 copies of Siege Gang Commander, so he can actually go from 4 to 5 and actually be comfortable with it. So I like getting a ringleader here. And if Celli did have a stifle, he would have used it on the matron. So I think the green light is on here to be able to take that vial up to 4, put the ringleader into play, resolve the trigger, and then get into the red zone for 3.
Yeah, with Joey already having access to Cavern of Souls as a 3rd land to play 3-drop goblins, I agree. It seems like the ringleader's sweet. He's gonna snap Wasteland. Wasteland seems. I don't know if I like that here. Obviously, we have like Port Cavern, so those are lands that can get wastelanded. But our mana is not as valuable as Patrick's mana. He actually has to use it to cast spells.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would have preferred to just keep hitting my land drops there. Here's a ringleader for 1, for 2, for 3. There's a pile driver, and for 4, that is a goblin lackey. And another thing too that I don't like is playing the land before you resolve your ringleader, because now he can't play Cavern of Souls to be able to name goblin and force through goblins. Now he has to wait a turn.
Joey kind of assumed he would be porting this turn, I think, but when you're playing Goblin, putting Goblin Ringleader into play, you can't really assume anything.
No.
A vast majority of options are available to you, all of them with creature-type Goblin.
Andrew's going to come across for 3. He's going to follow up by playing a Goblin Lackey and pass the turn back. Don't know if Celli's going to use a Force of Will or if he has another blue card at all. He's just going to draw a card. He's going to sacrifice a fetch land. I wonder what's coming here.
He drew Tropical Island, so I imagine he's going to be fetching Volcanic Island for the turn. And now that most of Joey's Wastelands are gone, he's probably feeling safe about that.
Maybe a Forked Bolt?
Forked Bolt would be a spicy meatball. Buy him a little bit of ground.
There's one of those. Of course, Rough Tumble's in the sideboard of this deck. Okay, Lightning Bolt the Lackey. Okay, sure.
Taking care of that guy now. Plays a Wasteland.
Take care of the port.
Wastes the port. A lot of Wastelands in this game.
Yeah.
That's the 6th one we've seen.
And this board position favors this favors Joey a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and if he ever does run into a Siege Gang commander, he's pretty happy with how things go. Going to play Cavern, obviously going to name Goblin. See what Goblin is going to end up playing. He's going to start by getting into the red zone here for 3 more. Put Celli down to 12. And is it going to be a pile driver or a lackey?
He did draw a lackey this turn, I believe. And that's what he's going to go ahead and cast.
I kind of like casting that there because you still want to keep buying out the burn spell so that when you actually do play pile driver, it's good to go and it's not going to be taken care of. The Taxing Probe going to knock Celli down to 10. Could have paid blue mana for that. I wonder if that's going to come back to bite him.
He's in the danger zone here. Especially considering we know he has a 3rd land in his hand. The blue mana might have been worth spending. The remaining cards, I believe, are Force of Will and Spell Pierce.
Okay. 2 really bad cards.
Yeah, not great.
The hand there for Andrews there, you see Celli has it in his hand. He has 2 copies of Gem Palm Incinerator. He has a Goblin Pile Driver. I think that's a Sharpshooter and then just one other card.
Patrick draws, plays his 4th Wasteland. Has a Daze, Spell Pierce, Tropical Island, maybe another Spell Pierce as well. Yeah, just a bunch of stone blanks. Never found a creature in this game to establish any kind of position. And that's a key vulnerability of the Rug Delver deck. If you can disrupt your opponent as much as you want. If there's not a clock in play, then they'll just draw more lands and spells and get you.
Yeah.
Joey did not even have that problem. He just started off very strong with Aether Vial and a bevy of Wastelands.
Lackey Trigger, going to put Pile Driver in. Going to take a look at that, so we'll bring it up as well. Pro Blue, of course. Gets +2/+0 for every other Goblin attacking. It is a trigger, so you don't want to forget. Here's another Lackey. I'm just going to pass the turn back.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty favorable spot for Joey right now.
Yeah. There's the Pile Driver. There's Nimble Mongoose.
Nimble Mongoose, game. It's over.
You're a little late to the party. You're on chump blocking duty.
Yeah, the Nimble Mongoose can jump in front of the Pile Driver and will take only 5 damage, falling to 1, but obviously it's not a winning proposition either.
Across we come. There's your Pile Driver trigger. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to be a 9-power creature. Probably going to have to block that one for the Nimble Mongoose. It does have Threshold, so it'll trade with it, but he's going to end up taking 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 Lackey triggers.
I like that block.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're good on that? You're good? 2 triggers here. One is going to be, I think, another Pile Driver there. Second one's going to be a Matron.
Oh, well, if we had a Matron, we should have probably ticked our vial up to 5.
Yeah.
But perhaps it was our draw step. Because Matron for Siege Gang is just game on the spot.
You're going to get Mogwar, Marshall, Hardcast, so it's just going to gum up the board,
Yeah.
pass the turn back.
More creatures!
Yeah.
Roar. Patrick's like, can I draw my card and
Yeah,
concede now?
Can I draw my card, cast a Brainstorm?
We're going to brainstorm.
Even if he has a rough tumble here, we'll leave a token behind for the Mogwar Marshal to be able to get the job done.
Plus, that would be awkward because then we have to call the judge.
yeah, because his rough tumbles are not in his main deck. Joey Andrews going to win game number 1 here, Goblins versus Rug Delver. Let me take a look, Skipoo. Want to look at the sideboard?
Yeah, let's do it.
You sure?
Patrick Celli has a lot of singletons in his sideboard. In fact, he's got 2 Flusterstorm, 3 Submerge, and then mono singletons. And I don't think we'll be seeing those Flusterstorms and Submerges come in. So let's take a look at everything. We've got 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Crow's Grip, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Scavenging Ooze, 1 Pyroblast, 1 Red Elemental Blast, honorary singletons, 1 Rough Tumble, and 1 Sulfur Elemental. So of those cards, I imagine he's going to bring in the Rough Tumble, the Ancient Grudge, and the Pithing Needle. You think that's it? Does he go for any deeper? He could bring in the Grip, but I think it's kind of too inefficient. And you know, I'm not that interested in the Scavenging Ooze.
I'm not that interested in Scavenging Ooze either.
Yeah.
I think that's where he stays.
Yeah.
He's
So
happy
just
enough.
those 3 cards, and we have 3 Forcible in our main deck. So
Get him out.
yeah, let's just toss those for those. We're on the play, so our Spell Pierces actually have a little bit of action to them. I might board out a mix, like board out some like 1 Spell Pierce, 2 Force, or something like that to keep them guessing.
Yeah, I
I
suppose.
don't think that's that bad.
Like, Forcible is pretty bad against Goblins because they have
Yeah.
Vial, assuming the Vial resolves, and they have Caverner Soul, so it's pretty bad, but, there's the off chance that you can catch something with it, so I think I would want to start with Spell Pierce first, and
Okay.
then leave in the 1 or 2 Forcibles that are left over. Taking a look over here, Joey Andrews, he's got 3 copies of Mindbreak Trap, no. 3 Thalia Guardian of 3. Which actually is kind of interesting in this matchup because there are times where it can be good. And a lot of the time, especially when I'm on the draw, I like boarding out Lackey and boarding in Thalia in this matchup.
Okay.
Because Lackey's not going to hit on the draw. It should just never happen. So I actually like boarding in Thalia because it's a deck that does have low mana. And if Patrick's going to aggressively use his Wastelands like that, sign me up for Thalia. 3 copies of Pyroblast I do not like in this matchup at all because the blue spells just aren't worth actually countering. And you're investing a card there that I'd prefer that you don't invest. 3 copies of Pyrokinesis, just going to be a 1-for-1 at best.
Yeah.
And 3 copies of Relic Progenitus, a card that I actually love in this matchup.
Yeah.
I actually learned this one from Jim Davis. He's the person that recommended this card to me. The fact that you can block a Tarmogoyf with, let's say, a Mogwar Marshal token, and then activate the Relic of Progenitus. It'll die because it has a damage on it. It comes to 0/1. Can also control Nimble Mongoose as well at its threshold. Those green creatures are normally pretty big in this matchup, and the games do go a little while, so you'd like to be able to have a way to control those, and this is a way for you to do that. I've actually had a lot of success with that card in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Relic is one of the better cards in Legacy against Rug Delver. Before we had Rest in Peace, it was like the go-to card to sideboard against this particular deck. So yeah, I imagine Joey should definitely be bringing those in. And the Thalias, the only issue I have with Thalia in this matchup is it functions a lot more like a Thorn of Amethyst than like a Thalia.
Sure.
Because it's matched up against Nimble Mongoose and Tarmogoyf, these creatures that are so much larger than it. It doesn't get to attack as often as all these sweet goblins do.
Yeah, this is true.
So I think that it is a powerful card, and it'll gum a lot of draws up, especially like you said, once we've seen how Patrick employs Wasteland, we know like our Thalias might be more important than usual because we can catch him on lighter mana. But at the same time, it definitely feels a little closer to its Thorn self than its Thalia.
I mean, it's not great, but I just really, really despise Lackey on the draw. Like, I don't think you're ever going to play a Lackey on the draw and then connect on turn 2. I think a lot of the time you're going to play a Lackey and they're going to go, okay, whatever, like I have no Mongoose, or I have a Delver, or I have a Tarmogoyf, or Bolt, Lightning Bolt,
sense.
something to take care of it. And again, Thalia is not great, and if Joey loses this game and goes in the play for game 3, I would board the Lackeys back in.
Yeah,
on
sure.
the play, and you can maybe steal one.
Create a
that
bunch of
way.
tempo.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've arrived pretty close to our sideboarding strategies here. Let's see what our players actually employed. Patrick will be on the play, an advantage for the Rug Delver pilot, as if he can drop turn 1 Delver or maybe a Mongoose and just catch the lead, counter anything that comes down for Joey, stifle a fetch land or something like that. He can pretty quickly steal a game before Joey gets off the ground.
Yeah, playing against Rug Delver when they're on the draw, especially if they start off with the Delver Secrets, is pretty difficult to do. That's part of the reason that I play Tarfire in my list, is because I hate losing to Insectile Aberration. It's just so frustrating to lose that card. I mean, it sucks that it makes Tarmogoyf even bigger, but losing to that card when it's flipped is incredibly frustrating.
Sure.
So I like to have answers to that card in the deck. And if they start off with that card, Nimble Mongoose, and they start with it, it's not as bad. But if they get the tempo going pretty quickly, it's really hard for Goblins to catch up because it's such a mana-intensive deck. They start stifling your lands, wastelanding you, stuff like that, just really bugging you and never letting you get your feet set. That's where things actually get really difficult for the Goblins deck against Rug Delver.
Yeah, Tarfire is also just a heck of a card to have to respect. The Goblins deck having access to some form of reach changes a lot of math that goes on in the matchups that you play, I imagine. Like, people just don't expect that you can shock them. And there's nothing that feels so good as just Tarfire to the dome.
It's a really nice feeling.
It's a delightful feeling.
It's really good. Bannable, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, OP Tarfire feelings. Joey on a mulligan to 6. Looks like we do see the Thalia. He did bring that in. He also has a Goblin pile driver in that hand.
Lance?
I think he has at least a plateau, I believe, because I saw some white bordered.
He does not look thrilled. Yeah, I didn't think his hand was very good. He's gonna go down to at least 5 here.
Down to 5 on the draw against Rug Delver.
No thanks.
I've been in happier places.
Yeah, that's not a... Patrick's draw would have to be like the first game, and even if it was like the first game, that means you got wastelanded 3 or 4 times. So yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, maybe we can just avoid the whole wasteland shenanigans. Just go mountain into Vial, and Patrick has a blank, no days. And,
yeah.
Just gotta dodge it. It's cool.
You gotta dodge a lot now.
Yeah.
When you're down to 5. It's Rug.
Plus, without a ringleader, it's going to be tough to even recur that advantage.
Yeah.
Recruit, I should say.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. It's not impossible. Just improbable. 3, 4, and 5.
Picks him up. Let's see what we got. Matron, Plateau, Vial. That's good enough already, right?
Yeah, this is the snap keep.
We're on it.
And there's a Delver on turn 1.
Yeah. Volcanic Island Delver. I saw a Stifle in Patrick's hand, so things are going to get rowdy.
He's under the gun right away.
Joey starts with Wasteland, Vial. Here I'm actually I'm more a fan of leading the Wasteland because we don't want to actively really engage in that attrition fight when we're on 5 cards, right? Like, we actually need our lands more, and our mana more. So if we only have 1 colored source, go ahead and play the Wasteland here. If it gets wasted, we still get a Plateau.
Maybe that Delver will never flip. Never mind.
Oh, Cedric jinxes Joey, and Patrick drops a Brainstorm, almost certainly ensuring his Delver will flip. He can play a fetch land and decline to crack it until after the upkeep trigger, even if he's trying to shuffle away bad cards.
Yeah, like pretty ambitious that Delver wouldn't flip. I don't know.
That is indeed ambitious.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Most of these Rug Delver decks run a fair number of spells. I don't know if you're familiar with those counts. Yeah, it's pretty high.
I was way off.
It's about 50%.
Okay. Okay. Well, sure. Go ahead and put 2 cards back there. Set yourself up for the next couple of turns. See if he has a fetch land to make it perfect. He does.
He does. Well, yeah, strong start for Patrick. Not a bad start for Joey either.
Yeah, I mean, Vial resolving at least. I mean, he's gonna get to play Magic, which is the big deal. Draw himself a card. Wooded Foothills.
Yeah, no miracle.
There's that.
Leads the Wooded Foothills. We may want to go ahead and crack this on our turn, right? Because the fetch land will shuffle away the Delver instant.
Yeah, I would have liked to crack that.
If he stifles us, we at least don't have to worry about Delver 100% flipping. Reveals Bolt. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good at all. It's not good.
It's not good at all.
In for 3 at 16, at a virtual 13 right now. That's what I'd be thinking in my head is, yeah. I'm basically at 13 right now. Here's a stifle.
Here's
a ponder. Yeah, fine, I'm at 10. Is that better? Is that better? I'm at 10? 2 bolts? How about that?
Joey fetches in response to the Ponder now. Patrick will lose the ability to get selective with his Ponder via fetch land. But that's a worthy sacrifice. We're going to go ahead and Stifle to shut down that mountain. Stifle's a pretty live card against Goblins in general, right?
Stifle's awesome against Goblins.
It can counter a Vial activation, it can counter a Matron trigger, it can counter a Ringleader trigger, it can counter so many different things, including this fetch land.
Don't forget about Gem Palm either.
Gem Palm is there, sure. That's an important one in this situation.
Bye-bye fetch land.
With Patrick's access to Lightning Bolt, Gem Palm Incinerators is a significantly smaller concern for him than usual, as he can just size down a Goblin in response.
So time to resolve a Ponder here for Patrick. All right, puts him back.
I believe that's his first Ponder keep of the match, and certainly an omen for Joey.
Taxing Probe. Well, let's put him face up. Ringleader, Matron, Warchief, Plateau.
Yeah.
Just rolls right off.
It's not a bad hand, but considering the clock he's under, it doesn't really solve any of his problems quickly enough.
It's actually a pretty good mulligan at 5, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
if he can find an answer somehow for that Delver, I mean, even a card like Sting Scourger, assuming that he left it in, is like good enough.
Yeah.
In this situation, just bounce your guy, give me a little breathing room. Now, the big question here is, he didn't play land.
Patrick did not play a land.
So I kind of want to wasteland that red source, kind of. Another vial, but I mean, I kind of want to wasteland here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's red or green.
I
know
think
he's
it's
got
red.
I know he's got a bolt.
Yeah,
But
because we know about the
I'm
bolt.
kind of afraid of Tarmogoyf though. I don't know.
I feel like if he had a Tarmogoyf, he would have almost certainly just played it. He kept his Ponder, so there's a possibility that he found a Tarmogoyf with it. But even then, that means, since he didn't get a land with the Ponder, that we probably are keeping him off Goyf for a little while.
Okay.
He does go for waste, but he goes for the Tropical Island. So Patrick will still have access to his Lightning Bolt, and that's going to be problematic.
He has Scalding Tarn. So
He left Scalding Tarn on top of the Ponder.
got him.
Yeah, definitely got him. I'll give him credit there.
I think you hooked him pretty good there.
Yeah, not playing the land there, a savvy line. Makes me kind of wonder what he kept. Maybe there was like a daze, and then the bottom card is just trash.
Yeah.
Something
He
like
hooked
that.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah.
is a good sequence.
Now here's Tarmogoyf too.
That's my guess, probably. Just like daze, leave the land on top,
Yeah.
have the Tarmogoyf in hand, maybe.
3-4 in the house. All right, Joey, gonna tick those vials up. 3-1 we go.
Yeah, 2 vials going up is going to help us out a fair bit considering our mana situation, but we're more concerned about our life total situation.
Yeah, that's
we're on
the,
12 life, facing down 6 power, and none of our creatures are good at blocking.
Nope.
They can do it. They're not good at it.
I can do it. I can block. Matron, Ringleader, War Chief, Pile Driver. I believe mystery card there for Joey Andrews. As you mentioned, these creatures can block. That's a thing that they can do, but it's not good. It's not good news at all. And see, he's contemplating things, and I would be too, because and again, he has to worry about that lightning bolt that's over there too. Like that's known knowledge.
Yep.
It's gonna be a War Chief. Okay.
Yep. War Chief it is.
Any follow up? This is gonna be Pile Driver, right? Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we played 2 creatures, and our opponent can only bolt 1. I'd say that's pretty good as far as turns go.
I've seen worse starts. I mean, the other one I think is just immediately on chump blocking duty, though.
Yeah. I imagine next turn we're going to go like Matron into War Marshal or something like that. We don't have the lands to incinerate anything yet. Maybe we just have to hope to peel one anyway, though.
Just a singleton block. All right, take 3, go down to 9. What do we have here? Oh, it's
Lightning Bolt.
No, Forked
Forked
Bolt.
Bolt. Gross display of power from Patrick Celli. Does not try to conceal anything here. He's going to burn the Forked Bolt, keep access to Lightning Bolt.
Only 1 red mana source. He's going to play Drop Vial and pass the turn back. Vials should be ticking up. I don't know if he drew his card yet. Okay.
Yeah. All right. He's going 4 and 2. All right. Well, he can no longer Matron his way into a Marshal. He's just going to have to Ringleader or something. I would be maybe tempted to Matron with the trigger on the stack and then take the file to 4. Is that a thing? I don't know.
What do you want to Matron for?
I mean, I feel like we need a War Marshal just to stay alive.
Sure.
But
Matron, Pile Driver, Arid Mesa,
all right,
Wasteland.
got a minor game there. We did hit a Pile Driver we can bust, but we're going down to 6, and there's still a Lightning Bolt in Patrick's hand.
We're at the virtual 3.
Yeah, virtual 3 indeed.
Do not attack with that Ringleader. By the way.
Are you sure?
I'm just going to put that out there, yeah.
Pass his turn. I feel like we should probably have upkeep that vial. Prevent us from getting totally blown out by a Stifle.
Stifle, yeah. There's a
We should
Wasteland.
probably do it in response to the Brainstorm as well.
He drew a Pithing Needle off of that
Yep.
off of that Brainstorm, so that's probably lights out.
Yeah. This game was already incredibly favorable for Patrick, but I don't even know what analogy I can make to Pithing Needle. It's like Plague Wind plus one-sided Armageddon. Like
Yeah, something
it's
like that.
Yeah. It's a crazy amount of destruction going on.
Oh, so he had a War
He
Marshal.
had a War Marshal. Okay.
Oh no,
Must have
there
drawn that last
I
turn.
am. I'm ready to block, I swear. Okay.
In that case, it's not even close as to how we took our vials, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, that War Marshal immediately going under the bus.
Ooh, I wonder who's going to block between me and Eric.
Well,
Who's going to fight that Tarmogoyf?
I don't think it's going to matter much. Oh, Patrick doesn't play the needle, Perhaps Patrick thinks I've got this one in the bag. I don't need to show him I boarded in Pithing Needle. I imagine that's what he's thinking.
I would kind of want to take that vial up to 5.
Just go for it. Peel one off the top. Let's do
he has
it.
a matron.
Yeah, I mean, he has a matron. I guess the one off the top is the land.
Yeah.
Like, to activate Siege
I mean, you
Gang
got to get
Commander.
lucky.
I don't disagree with you. You got to pick where you want to get lucky.
He's in a horrible, horrible spot. If he peels a land, he can go matron. He can violent matron, get Siege Gang, violent Siege Gang, triggers, put the tokens into play, activate the Siege Gang, kill the Insectile Aberration. I mean, not sure if he's ever going to be able to win, but I think he gives himself the best opportunity to at least try to win. It doesn't look like he drew the land, so he just has to pass the turn back. It's like, oh, red zone.
Let's get him. Down to 14. Gotcha. Up Joey on the hope he doesn't see he has a bolt plan, I think, here.
Had it.
Oh, rats, he bolted me.
Yeah.
Saw it. Saw the play.
All right, Patrick Celli's going to tie this up between Rug Delver and Goblinos. That's why I say Goblins. Goblinos.
All right, going to game 3.
Who you got?
Who
G3.
I got? Game 3?
Don't
I don't know, man.
Don't do it, man.
I think I gotta go with Rug Delver.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Goblins is a little advantage, but I think Joey. I don't feel like he's that comfortable in the matchup. Is my concern. You know, there's been some slight sequencing things, and it's easy for Rug Delver to jump all over those edges.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
I'd be concerned. But if he gets one of these vile starts, can waste Patrick down and avoid getting jumped on by an Insectile Aberration. Obviously, I agree with you with him being just a general favorite in the matchup. Insectile Aberration is the key player.
Yeah, you got to fade Delver. It's such a pain to play against on turn 1. You just have to fade it. I mean, that game is so wildly different if it's Nimble Mongoose.
Oh yeah,
such a different game.
I mean, Joey might just win if it's Nimble Mongoose.
Yeah, he might come back from a mulligan to 5 because his mulligan was actually quite good.
It might not even be close if it's Nimble Mongoose. It might just be like one of the easiest games of Magic we've seen on camera. He could have just done that matron play into Siege Gang Commander, really gotten rowdy. And you would no longer need that second land. You could just make a bunch of guys. That's actually pretty effective.
Yeah, just swarming, something that Goblins does really, really well. One nice thing, if you're looking for positives on Andrew's side, is that there's only one rough and tumble to worry about in the sideboard. Obviously, he doesn't know that because he doesn't have access to the deck list yet because we're not in the elimination rounds. But that's one thing that when you're playing against Delver, you always have to be cognizant of is how far can you extend. Because once you get into the mid to late game, which is where you're trying to get as the Goblins player anyway, Rough Tumble is basically going to be Pyroclasm Goblins and not kill any of the Rug Delver creatures.
Yeah, it's a tough card to rumble against for sure.
I see what you did there.
Do you?
Yeah, unfortunately I do. This is why we only bring you in twice a day.
I know.
I can only imagine what you would be like.
Because otherwise it would be too good.
Yeah, I can only imagine what you would be like over the course of 9 rounds.
No, I have to do some
jam
credit.
Rough and Tumble together. It's Rumble. So you get
jam anything. I switched.
Okay.
It was tough to rumble. You didn't even get the full joke.
Didn't I?
No.
Didn't I?
You didn't.
I did. I'm just not going to give it to you.
I have to credit Standard Open champion Eric Finnegan for his excellent use of Rumble this morning. That was how he declared the attack step. He put it in my brain. That's a team effort right there.
Okay.
Yep, I'm shipping 5% of the credit for that pun.
There you go. Nice guy.
Nice guy.
Way to give back to the community.
Really
proud of you.
He had a pretty good day. I don't really feel like he's feeling shorted on this one. Tacoma Trophy, cool couple K, no big deal.
All right, game 3. Is he keeping? He's keeping. No turn 1 play.
No turn 1. Does have a Cavern of Souls in his hand though. Conceals it with the mountain.
Boom.
Keeping it protected. Hey, what's that card called? Delver of Secrets.
Unbiased,
Okay.
Unbiased
That's a good turn 1 buy. Turn 1 play.
commentary.
Sorry. Turn 1 buy.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah. We'll see.
Joey gonna want something on turn 2 here to match wits with Delver of Secrets.
I think he might
Looks
have
like he has some options. I see at least a Mog War Marshal.
There's a War Marshal there. I think he might have a Thalia in the grip too. I'm not 100% positive on that.
No, he may fall into the trap here of Cavern on Human. I don't like that trap.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, let's just War Marshal.
Sacrifice a fetch.
Fetch. Oh well, fetch Plateau is okay. I would probably still just War Marshal though, right? I don't know.
Bink. Could get dazed.
Yeah,
that's
kind of what I'm concerned with.
Sets him
I mean,
back a land.
you care, but yeah, it's not like Patrick just free rolls you. not having to face down a Tarmogoyf for multiple plays is not that dissimilar from letting the Thalia resolve.
No, that is super annoying for Rug.
Yeah. Definitely doesn't want to play against it, especially on the draw.
Yeah.
And it resolves. All right.
Flipskis? Brickskis.
No flip. Some people run so good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Patrick will have to spend his entire turn if he wants to kill that Thalia, and it looks like he's not even going to do that. He wastelands with the Thalia in play, catching the Plateau.
Joey has to be thrilled right now.
Yeah, that's a good spot for Joey. He can attack with his Thalia. He has an uncounterable Mog War Marshal to generate blockers for the Delver if it continues to not flip. I'd say that's about as good as it gets.
All right, Mog War Marshal trigger. Give me another Goblin. Eric Smith in the house.
He's saving me for Siege Gang. That's all, trust me.
Wow, Patrick fails to flip again. Tough stuff.
Maybe on land, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a land, and he has a Wasteland and another duel in his hand, so probably one of those. What are we going to do? It's another Volcanic Island, it looks like. And Wastelands the Cavern. We're walking the razor's edge over here.
Yeah, I don't like the use of Wasteland right now. I really don't. It's playing exactly into Thalia right now by just bottlenecking his own mana. I can't attack this turn. I do not have haste. Okay. But
Maybe next turn.
maybe next
That's
turn.
not very clear.
See, I
I
do like to rumble, but I can't get in there this turn. There's another Cavern of Souls. Gonna name Goblin, gonna play, another Mog War Marshal.
This is exactly the situation we talked about boarding in Thalia to pay off, though. You know, we saw how aggressive Patrick was with Wastelands and knew how good Thalia would be against that, and it's paying off in dividends right now.
Yeah. Not that was gonna flip. There's a Daze, but Daze isn't gonna have a huge impact in this game because Daze is gonna cost 1 mana to even be able to play. Now Delver's getting into the red zone here, so he's being hyper aggressive when he's on the back foot. There's a land. Tarmogoyf changes things if that's what shows up.
If he has a Tarmogoyf right here, I'm feeling pretty good for him. But
okay,
I kind of feel like I would have played Tarmogoyf last turn because clearly he had the Scalding Tarn. He revealed Daze this turn. You know? So I think Tarmogoyfing on the previous turn was probably better than wasting him off of the Cavern.
No Echo. Another Goblin comes into play.
Eric's pretty lonely out there. There's just a whole lot of SETI.
Yeah. Look at me go. I think I can beat Tarmogoyf in a fight.
Well, the stats don't lie.
I think I can take him. All right? It's an 0-1. It's a star.
You could win a 3v1 right here, but that's about it.
Here's a War Chief. I wonder if we're going to get in the red zone. Yep,
rumbles.
Don't kill me. There's a good chance I die.
I mean, there's a good chance one of you dies.
There's a pretty good chance I die.
He's pointing out the haste from the freshly generated Mog War Marshal token. One Cedric down.
Yeah, that's okay.
2 more to go.
Now, how do we feel about that attack? Like not sending in War Chief for Thalia. I mean, I feel like we're kind of in a damage racing situation.
Yeah, I think I like it fine. The issue is, are we blocking this Tarmogoyf now? It's only 2, right? So I guess it's not that big of a deal to block it. We can afford to go ahead and lose a guy here, get in 3. If the Tarmogoyf attacks, then we're trading 3 for 2. Favorable race for us, especially when we're ahead on life.
Ooh, he's got ooze in his hand.
He did bring in Scavenging Ooze. Interesting.
What is this?
Looks like 2 burn spells to me, or just 1. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he has the lightning bolt, not the forked bolt, which would have been significantly more damaging. And that ticks Tarmogoyf up.
There's a Ponder.
And a Ponder after the Thalia. All right, now we're cooking.
Next turn is gonna have to be pretty good for Joey. He needs to play a Ringleader or Matron or some good card from Goblins. He needs to play next turn.
All right, Tarmogoyf up to 4/5 now.
See what the draw is.
I might have actually, if this was my line, I might have been interested in jamming with that Tarmogoyf.
That's pretty risky to jam a Tarmogoyf and have nothing on defense.
If he doesn't block, then Joey goes to 9, and that's just 2 swings to the Delver and a bolt away, and he has to chump block Tarmogoyf for probably the rest of the game at that point.
But if he attacks there and then Joey just has Pile Driver, it's just over.
I guess that's fair.
It's just actual game.
That's fair. I mean, you got to pick and choose your battle.
I guess. You can just not die to Pile Driver for the turn.
That's the battle I'm picking and choosing to lose.
I mean, I know that I don't play Pile Driver, but most people do.
Like if a Pile Driver trades with a Goyf here, I'm actually pretty far behind too.
So Matron?
No, this is a War Chief, right? Oh,
yeah, Matron. War Chief already in play. Searchies? Nobody's going to search up.
Probably a Pile Driver.
I want to get Driver. The issue,
I guess you could get Incinerator, and it's
Incinerator is
pretty
really,
much
really
the
good.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Incinerate.
Yeah, Incinerator is insane right now. It's going to be for 5. There is a creature in the graveyard because of Thalia, so the Incinerator isn't going to up it to a 5/6. And I don't think there's a card that Celli can have to kill something right now.
No.
Okay.
Not in his main or sideboard.
Yeah, Incinerator is awesome right now.
Pays the 2, gets the Tarmogoyf. And that's going to let him crack in.
Did he draw off Incinerator?
I don't think he drew off
I
Incinerator.
don't think he drew off of
Yeah,
Incinerator.
we'll have to check that trigger's
That's
resolution.
not optional.
No, it is not. All right, so we got in for, what, 6 damage there. Patrick going down to 5 and threatened with lethal if he does not do something. Oh, apparently Joey drew off camera. We didn't spot
Okay.
it.
All right. We just
All
want,
right.
Yeah, we want to make sure. Brainstorm. Now here's the issue. There's one rough tumble laying around here somewhere. He didn't
Doesn't find it. But he did find a Thought Scour, so it might be able to sweat it for one more.
Oh boy, I like that.
I love the sweats. Deciding what to put back here.
Brainstorming always difficult to do. I know you got a fetch land off of that though. I think you got Wooded Foothills.
Got to fetch land. He needs it. Otherwise, we can't sweat.
Yep.
All right, he's going to fetch the land out, shuffling away the deck,
We're down
and
to 4.
we're going to Thought Scour for Rough Tumble.
Who's we?
What?
Who is we?
Patrick, Celli,
What
and
team
me.
are you on?
I just want to see the blowouts. I'm not even that interested in whether he wins or not. Rough Tumble's just a sweet one.
All right.
What team am I
Well,
on?
listen.
Even if I was picking teams, you and I both know what team I'd be on.
Well, I know what team I know what team I'm on. Tarmogoyf. Okay. Oh no, sorry.
Scavenging Ooze. Okay.
That can become a 3/3.
Yep. We can barely survive this turn.
So we have
basically.
The draw was a war. I think he can. So the draw was a War Chief. I think his hand right now is War Chief, War Marshal, and Pile Driver.
That's the
And
game.
if that's the case, that is it.
Yep.
So let's see who's going to start with. He's going to start with Pile Driver. I think you just cast them all.
Yeah, just everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in the club.
Play this, and I want to play my War Chief too. I just want to get him dead. I don't know if there's anything you can. Yeah, get that out there.
Yep.
No, okay, so
Doesn't cast
so
the
he can
Wood
go,
Chief,
he can go
assuming
up
that's
to
what it
5
is.
from the Scavenging Ooze, so he goes block Pile Driver, block the other biggest guy, which is War Chief, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, still dying.
Yeah,
Still going to
dying.
-1.
Yep.
And yep.
That's going to do it. Joey
Yep.
Andrews with Goblins defeats Patrick Celli, playing Rook Delver 2 games to 1. That moves him on to 7-0-1. We're in a 9-round tournament. I think double draw is good to go.
Yep. Joey.
Or